Good afternoon, guys. We're back again. It's after the St. Patrick's weekend. I hope everyone had a good time. Bank holidays are good times to catch up with the family and get some of those things done and get things in order. And on a similar point, that's what I want to talk about today is if there's something you're avoiding doing in your life, it might be the gym, doesn't have to be the gym, could be anything else. Is there a reason that you're not doing it, or is it simply an excuse? And I'm going to give my own particular example with this. Like I said a few weeks ago that I want to do a photo shoot in September. And I know there's a process I need to follow in order to get there, in order to get into that shape. I've done it before and I can do it again. One of the things is taking command of my food and preparing my food. Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to have all their food in little Tupperwares contained perfectly done out. If you want to do a photo shoot, you kind of do. But that's a separate thing. The lesson is still the same here. Now, I did say I wanted to lose a few kilos in a few months, and I went ahead of that, and then I just coasted. That's not getting to me to where I want to go. And I kept making excuses as to why I wasn't prepping my food. One of those was, I'm sick of trying to work out the containers. I bought a lot of containers and they go missing and people take them, and then I can't find the lids and I get frustrated in the morning. And that was the excuse I had for not preparing my food. That's just an excuse. That's something I can solve. That's not a reason. Okay? A reason would be if someone in the house was sick and I was looking after them, or I had extra load at work because someone else was sick. That's a valid reason, and there are phases in life where you need to prioritize. Sometimes you can't do everything and you need to pick things. But other times we're just making excuses. So that lunchbox thing, that was just an excuse. That was me trying to put off preparing my food because I was being lazy and because, again, I was just making excuses. So what did I do? Went down to the local cash and carry and I bought 250 containers, like takeaway containers, and it cost me 20 quid. Now, I no longer have that complaint. That complaint is gone. I have all the containers I need. And at 250, hell, I could lose half of them. And I've still got 125. So the excuse of that I was making to myself of I didn't have containers or the same size containers, that's now totally gone. Okay? If I use one container a day, that's 250 containers. I mean, Christ, that's nearly the whole year. So that's that excuse gone from me. But what are the similar excuses a lot of people make? They say, I don't have time, I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, if you commit to yourself, giving fitness as the example, that you need to get in the gym to sort yourself out, to help alleviate that back pain, to help get a kickstart on your weight loss, putting it off is usually people making excuses. You need to take a bit of ownership and you need to say, okay, this is something I need to do. And I need to change something to get there. Even last week, another reason why this particular topic popped into my head is I have a good friend of mine and he pulled out of the gym there last year because he had a lot going on. His partner's business was taking off. They bought a house. He was full-time restoring it, and that guy works from morning to night. He gets up at 8 o'clock and he works till 11 o'clock at night. Now that guy stopped coming to the gym for a few months because guess what? He had a damn good reason. He had a phase in his life where he was prioritizing something else. But he got back onto me last week there and he wants to get back in for his head, to keep him going, to keep him on top of things because he knows he needs to do it. And he didn't know if he could commit to 3 times a week. So his own solution, didn't have to say this to him, he's like, I'm going to come 2 times a week and it's going to happen. And that's the priority he's placed on it. He didn't find an excuse not to do it. He said, I need to do this, and he will make things go around it. It's the same with everything else. Like, people find a reason every time not to do something. And that's really an excuse. A reason is something that you can't control, but you can often work around. An excuse is you just trying to fob it off. So, is there anything in your life that you have been putting off that you need to sort? Is there anything that you thought this time last year, it's now, we're halfway through March, okay? Is there anything that you said you were going to do in March last year about your diet, about your fitness, about any other organizational part of your life that you still haven't done? And what's the reason for it? Or was it an excuse? Can you make a step towards it today? Like I said, my problem was the container, so I just flipped a switch and I said, screw it. Went in, bought the containers. If you don't have any fitness gear, if that's the excuse, go onto Amazon, go onto Sports Direct and order something today. If you're not sure of what gym to join, if you're unsure, check a couple of Facebook reviews today and pick one. Or, you could phone me, that's up to you. But nonetheless, do something today or this week. I prefer not to say this week because people will fob it off till tomorrow or the day after or the day after. Write down what you're going to do today. One thing to get you where you need to go, and make it happen. Don't find an excuse. Find a reason to do it, because if you want to do something, you'll find a reason. If you don't, you'll make an excuse. Take care.